Hey, what's up, guys? Go back to my channel, Kobe. And yeah, so movie reviews. I watched 3 movies, and Wicked was the first one where I tried to make a full video, and it was taking way too long. So now I gotta be like, all right, might as well just make this a quick review. All right, there's no way I'm gonna finish all these 3 and make them a full, in-depth review. So yeah, so I watched Wicked, Sonic 3, and Nosferatu. So I had to talk about these movies. So, yeah, quick review. I'm not gonna go too in depth, just tell you guys, the meat and potatoes, like, oh, what I really love about the movie, what I dislike, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Wicked. I remember after watching The Joker, what was the last musical I watched? I try my best to remember, and my rough estimate is probably Enchanted back in 2007. I was like, damn, let's watch Wicked. So yeah, before watching this, I didn't know much about Wicked. I knew it was a book originally, then turned into a play, and then this movie. I knew the story is about the Wicked Witch being a misunderstood villain, but not really villain at all. So when I watched this, I was surprised how political it was. I didn't know it was going to go that deep. Like, this is the type of shit I would look at the story and be like, oh, yeah, it's because, the system wants her to be the villain. And it's exactly like that. It was like, wait, what? The movie was speaking to me, especially during a Trump win. It's like, bro, it is saying how I feel, and it is saying what's happening right now. The movie is about fascism. It's about finding the scapegoat and telling everybody that they are the problem and the reason why everything's bad. So yeah, after watching the movie, I was like, yo, I gotta do some research. I gotta check if, like, maybe the director changed some stuffs and, made it to this. But it's like, no, that was the original idea of the story. Now, of course, the book was way darker. I haven't watched the play, so, like, I'm not sure if the more stronger politics is coming from the book or play. But again, it's what I predicted. The creator of the book isn't the guy that made The Wizard of Oz. So it's a totally different guy, and it was made during the 90s. So during the 90s, he was inspired to make this book because of how we interpret who is evil and who is not. Who decides who is a terrorist or a hero. So going back to the movie, I was like, wait a minute. Is Elphaba supposed to be a black radical? Because throughout the movie, she was basically the only person that was speaking up for injustice. Because of her mistreatment, because of her skin, when the animals were getting mistreated, out of all the characters, she was the most vocal. She was the most sympathetic. Because she understood how it felt like to be outcasted. While other characters like Glinda, showed fake sympathy. It's like, oh, I'm showing sympathy, but I don't really feel it. I could go on and on, but, like, I know I'm gonna go too long about the politics. But, yeah, very good politics. And I was very shocked that they went there. So, yeah, characters. Elphaba and Glinda. Yeah, both of these guys did really good. Elphaba, great singer. Ariana Grande, of course, great singer. But with Ariana Grande, I'm glad she didn't lose it. She was great in this movie. A lot of people were like, oh, wait a minute, why is she so good? She's surprisingly good. But for me, as a person that watched Victoria, I already knew her potential, and I was very glad she didn't lose that comedic aspect of her acting ability. She was great in Victoria. Her playing as Cat, the dumb, silly character, fit very well in this movie. So yeah, actresses were great, singing was great. Music. I did like all the musicals, but there were just 2 of them I just didn't really like. The one scene in the library, I don't know by their names, all right? The library one and the one after, it was like the party, that one. Wasn't really a big fan. In general, I wasn't really a big fan of those 2 scenes, It was like, it's a little bit slow. I didn't like much of the school aspect, especially in the middle. In the middle, like, man, it felt like it was kind of dragging. Like, the beginning was great. Like, we get to see scenes of Glinda, she have to be, pretending that she's glad that the Wicked Witch is dead, and then we get to see, like, Elphaba's origin story. It was great. And then at the middle, they talked about, the school aspect, or the mean girl aspect. And it's like, this part, the middle part, is just like, it's dragging. There's a little bit too much fat. I personally do not like it. Now, there are a few good things about it, like, whenever they go back to scenes where, they talk about the animal oppression, that's always good. A few of the musicals were really good. What was it called? There was one that was popular, and What Is This Feeling? But still, those weren't enough to, make me say, oh, the middle part was great. No, I still didn't like the middle. But at the end is when, it made it worth the wait. It's like, oh man, it's dragging. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie. Oh, when they went to Oz, that's when, like, all right, here's the real story. Like, here's what you guys been waiting for. That's when the story gets darker. We get the real answers on why the animals are getting oppressed, why Oz wants Elphaba to be a part of the Oz administration. And also we get the song Gravity, which I thought was pretty good. Now, as the movie was getting better, the movie end. So yeah, other than the middle part, which I thought was pretty weak, the music was great, acting was great, story was pretty good. Yeah, great film. 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, next film, Sonic 3. Haven't watched any of them. I haven't watched the 1 or the 2. Just skip all that shit and went to 3 because, family wanted to watch it, and I was like, all right, fine. People say that Jim Carrey is the best part about that film, so let's see. And they were true. So I thought the movie overall was not bad. Jim Carrey does carry it. I thought Shadow was a pretty cool character. His voice was pretty good. I was surprised that Keanu Reeves gave a pretty good performance. And yeah, there are just a few things I didn't like. Sonic, I thought it was just annoying in this movie. God, bro, all the jokes he tried, it was just so cringe, bro. This Sonic, he's not as cool as the other Sonic. Like, that's the one thing. Like, listen, bro. I'm my hater gonna come out. Not a big Sonic fan, but at least with the TV shows and the games, Sonic was pretty cool. This Sonic in this movie, he's not. He is so fucking cringe. I hate this Sonic. Knuckles was cool, and Tails was just there, Tails, I don't know, like in this movie, maybe in the last movie he had more dimension and more character building, I don't know, but like in this movie, he was just there, he was just the tech guy. Knuckles had a few funny moments. Now, Jim Carrey as the Robotniks. Amazing performance. I thought people were just gassing themselves up like, oh, he was the best part. I'm like, all right, guys, relax. No. if he's like this on all the other Sonic movies, then my bad. Fuck, man. I miss him. He gave it his all in this movie. And there was no time where he was just, restricting himself like, all right, I gotta calm down. No. He went crazy. And it fit. I was like, I thought, all right, he's going to go crazy and it's just going to make the movie feel, out of place. Nah, man. It just made the movie better. Like, there are moments to where I'm just thinking to myself, if it was any other movie or any other actor, I would already be saying this movie went bananas and I fucking hated it. Nah. For some reason, I loved it. So yeah, Jim Carrey, GOAT actor, watching him work again, it's like, bro, no other actor is doing like him. So yeah, enough glazing about the movie. Let's talk about another negative thing. That is the dialogue. The dialogue was meant for babies. Just like with the Mario movie, they use simple words, and also they say what they feel and shit. It's like, bro, it's like, it's going to be hard for kids to know if Mario's sad or Sonic is angry. So they just say it, like, I hate that part. It's like, just show it, please. Don't say that you're mad or happy or sad. But yeah, it was a pretty good watch. Not an amazing movie, but it was entertaining. So, 6 out of 10. All right, last movie, Nosferatu. Now, before I talk about the movie, let me tell you the process I had to do to watch the movie. Every IMAX screening for this movie was only available past 9 o'clock. Why? And the IMAX that I always go wasn't available. Like, at first when I was finding IMAX screenings, it was like, oh, the one that's close to me isn't available? Oh, that sucks. I guess I'll take a 30 or 40-minute drive to an IMAX theater. And then I found out, wait, what? Only available past 9 o'clock? Then I had to search, like, why? Only, like, every IMAX theater, only 9 after. It was like, why? I had to search it up, and turns out it's because of Mufasa. They took all the Showtime IMAX hours and shit. So they leave no space for Nosferatu. So I had to pick the third best option. The second best option would have been Dolby Cinema, but like that also only available at past 9 o'clock. So it's like, all right, that sucks. So third best would be AMC Prime. Now I know some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, why don't you go to the regular one? Bro, I remember going once after going so many screenings in an IMAX. When I went to Godzilla for a regular screening, bro, that felt like I was in a living room watching from someone's small-ass TV. I'm not doing that again. So yeah, Nosferatu, an amazing film. Robert Eggers did it again. The first thing I gotta appreciate about the film was the sets, the cinematography, and the lighting. It was just so pretty to look at this movie, and the vibes is unmatched. Same with the actors. Everybody did an amazing performance. And of course, Willem Dafoe, another goated performance. So, all right, let me glaze him a little bit. Because out of all the characters, listen, every character was depressed. Every character, was affected by Nosferatu. So everybody was kind of like sad and scared. But because Willem Dafoe wasn't a victim, he was more optimistic. He was more energetic than everyone else. All right, I'm going to reel back my glazing and talk about some negatives. Jump scares. Listen, the movie was already creepy enough. It was already scary enough. I love the atmosphere, but like, man, I don't like jump scares, all right? Not because, I'm a bitch and shit. Yeah, kind of. But only because it's cheap, all right? I don't like it. And especially with this movie, like, there could have been other ways to, like, scare someone. Not like a cheap jump scare like they do. There was a few of them that I understand, all right, that it had to be a jump scare. Not only because it would be perfect, but it was also funny. There was one scene where I was laughing and also the jump scare came out. I'm like, all right, okay, you know what? That jump scare was worthy. But some of the other ones, it's like, bro, you messed up the scene, all right? Like, you just interrupted with a jump scare, and, now it's like, oh, well, there you go. You got me, all right? Fine. You scared me a little bit, but at what cost, all right? Like, there's probably could have been other ways to scare me. But yeah, another negative, Nosferatu, the actual character. I thought it was pretty weak. I thought Bill Skarsgård's performance was pretty good, but the character, it's like, all right, the one thing I just don't understand is, how did he manage to bag Ellen? Like, I would get if he was somewhat handsome, but like, he's ugly as shit. But another thing could be, hey, maybe he's just very suave, Maybe the way he talks, he's very like persuasive and romantic. Nah, there is nothing about him that is attractive. So yeah, I wish there was something like that to where it's like, oh, I could see why she found him attractive at first, and then she was just permanently in a abusive relationship. And goddamn, this man is so petty. He's like, if you don't give me pussy, I'm gonna kill everybody you love and spread a fucking disease. It's like, god damn. And the way the movie ended, now spoilers, I'm not gonna spoil it really, but like, I'm just gonna say it ended pretty sadly. I was thinking like, man, the movie has been depressing the entire time. So much fucked up shit has happened to these characters. I was hoping for like a happy ending, but nah. So yeah, amazing movie, beautiful set pieces, amazing, cinematography. The acting is amazing. Lily Rose is a pretty good actress, because, you would think, oh, nepotism got her the role. There were many things that she had to do to where if it was a bad performance, oh yeah, people would have been complaining. And especially, the daughter of Johnny Depp had an awful performance, and it is obvious that she was given the role because, nepotism. But no, she was good. She had to act like she was possessed, and it was pretty convincing. So yeah, I'll give this 9 out of 10. Really good movie. Alright, so fourth movie, bonus movie. I just watched this movie recently, so might as well just dump it in here. So yeah, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. So yeah, there's not much to say, but an amazing film. But I gotta be honest, it's not their strongest film. I still think, The Curse of the Rabbits is better, Chicken Run is better, and now I know this is a short, but it's basically like a sequel to the short. But yeah, I still think The Wrong Trousers is better. But still, it's a pretty good movie. But yeah, I know I was a little too negative. God damn, man. But yeah, so the stop motion. So Armin Studio is well known for doing this. This is basically their number one signature whenever they're working on a movie. Most of them. I know there are some that they don't do stop motion, but they're well known for it, and they have perfected it. As technology gets better and better with, we can add more animation, or if we want to stylize it, we could put less animation. We could 3D render this model and make it as realistic as possible, or we can make a 2D animation, or whatever the fuck, or we can mimic a lot of other stuff like claymation. But Armin Studio said, nah, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Use clay and stop motion. And that simple combo is so goated. Just like the other movies that are stop motion, it just brings character to the movie, Just like how people argue that film is better than digital, there's just something that is beautiful about imperfection. Because you can't fake this. Now, you could, but it is going to be noticeable because it's too sharp or too perfect. Like, if you really zoom into these clay characters, you can see the fingerprints. You can see the dents that don't perfectly align with maybe the last frame, They're just little things that are noticeable. But, yeah, perfect movie, all right? Like, there's just not much to say. I don't really want to spoil it because it is a short movie. It's like, I think it's like either 90 minutes or less. It's on Netflix, so if you got Netflix, go watch it. And, yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, so you keep up to date on all my content. And, yeah, bye.